Welcome back. Today we're gonna do a painting. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a simple nor complicated, but just a painting. That I hope you guys follow along. Today we're gonna do like a deserty theme painting, and let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched double prime, and I added a thin layer of liquid white. And I have the canvas on landscape mode rather than uh I mean I have it on portrait mode rather than landscape mode. That's what I meant to say. Okay, let's get started with this wonderful painting. Oh, this brush is messed up. I was just painting yesterday, so kind of forgot to clean some of my brushes. Little phthalo blue, and just come down here just like so. Maybe right around here, just giving it some blue just for the sky. Okay, now I don't think we're gonna have water in this painting, so just go back and forth blending that in. Some places will have more paint than others. Okay, just go across, and we got that right about there. Just getting a 1-inch brush, trying to loosen up the bristles. That's why you saw me tapping my brush. And just going to a little bit of titanium white. And maybe there's just these clouds that just float around. And all I'm doing is just tapping the brush. Tap, tap, tap. That's why I left a little bit of space in there, so we could put in some happy little clouds that might not be the most active, but they're just there, relaxing on their vacation. Gotta make up those stories. Okay, now let me clean that brush. Always clean your brush. If not, you're gonna be like me, where your brush isn't clean, and you have to find a way how to restore your brush. That's not fun. So just clean it. It doesn't take that long just for you to clean the brush. Now, let's go ahead. Let's get a 2-inch brush. And let's come up here and just blend the bottom of this cloud with the corner of the brush. Corner of the brush, that's all we're using, the top corner. People are always tempted to use the bottom corner like this, but then you don't see where you're getting your clouds. So with the top corner of the bristles, that'll help you notice better and just help you with your painting. It gets some time to get used to it, but once you get used to it, oh, it's worth it. Fluff up those clouds, make it nice fluffy clouds. You could pull down if you want, go side to side. And just like that, pretty simple. We got some clouds and we got our sky. Now let's put in a mountain that's pretty noticeable. or something in the distance, just something out there. Some mountain mixture and some titanium white, and we're just gonna put in a mountain right along these lines. Mountain, hill. A lot of deserts have these mountains slash hills, so that's what I want to put in. Okay, so now to get that 2-inch brush we use for the clouds, and just drag and pull the paint. Just touch it, line the bristles, touch it, and just pull. Just like so. You could create mist on the bottom, doesn't really matter. So now I want to put in another mountain, but my palette knife has dried up paint, so I want to clear that up just before I go on my next mountain, so it could be easier. And I just scraped off the paint, that's it. Now let's go into some mountain mixture, a little bit of that gray tone, just a little bit. Let's come up here and just dance in one of those mountains slash hills. Okay, something simple, something light, nothing too crazy. And that goes right in front. Just scratch off as much paint as you can get off. The more paint you take off, the better. Okay, same 2-inch brush. I'm just beating it to remove the excess paint. That's all I'm doing when I beat the bristles. And just pull that paint. Like if you were to paint a regular mountain, we're gonna paint like a regular mountain, but it's not gonna be white and blue. It's probably gonna, since it's in the desert that I want it, it's probably gonna be maybe with brown or something along those lines. Okay, my palette knife fell down, so pick that up. A little bit of crimson, and let's mix up a green color with just blue and yellow. And that green color, use it to mix up a brown with the red. Okay, we got like a nice brown grayish color. And we're just gonna come up here and just let it glaze off. Something so lightly. I'm gonna try to get out the way because I tend to kind of get in the way when you guys need to see what's happening. So I gotta get used to from a distance. I'll get used to it after a while. It's just right now I'm not that used to it because before I used to paint, I'd be close up to my canvas. Not anymore. Not anymore. Just let that paint break. Okay, just going along the lines. You could also paint this with the brush. It's just it would take longer, but sometimes it benefits to do it that way because you might get a bit more detail. Okay, let me mix up a dark color. So mix up here. I'm just trying to mix up another batch, but with mountain mixture, just to kind of dull it down a bit and darken it up. Okay, same thing, just pull the other way. Just pulling the other direction. Let's make it interesting. Let me just push that mountain back. Just like so. You know what? I think it needs a bit more highlight on some of it. I just added some white to my shadow color. Just to give it a sort of light up. Okay, maybe around here. And you could pull some of that extra highlight into your shadows. Okay, I'm gonna just add a touch of highlight over here. Make it seem like more rocks, more pebbles. Okay, you know what? I want another mountain. That's the beauty of painting. You could make up your mind on the go, and you could just do anything with this. Let's put our mountain right around there. I just used mountain mixture. Just scraping off the axis paint, excess. Keep on saying axis instead of excess. I need to practice on my English a bit more. Okay, beat the brush again. That's a good way to take out your frustrations rather than being mad at everyone or any other way. It's just more, this way is more peaceful, more easier. You're just beating a brush. Poor brush. Okay, we created another layer. Got a clump of paint stuck on top of here. So just scrape that off. You could go with your brush and just clean off that area. Pretty simple. Okay, now let's go here. Let's add on our highlights. And if you wanted to, right now I feel like the perfect tone for this would be like a dark sienna, and maybe after this video's done I might add on a touch of dark sienna. I don't know just yet, but if I do, you guys will see it at the beginning of the painting and you'll see it at the end of the painting. So I'm just doing the same thing, just adding some highlights. For every mountain you need your highlights and you need your shadows. Gotta be fair to every mountain. Mixing up a brown. And then once you got your brown, add some mountain mixture. Okay, just a little bit here and there. Here and there. Maybe this one just covers it right in front, pushes that one back a bit. And if you were to pick up a little bit of blue, in my opinion it looks better, but if you don't like it, you could always just scrape that paint off and redo it. But if you get a multitude of colors, it makes it look interesting. And they kind of blend in, the mountains. If you do it just right, they'll kind of blend in. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna add a touch more highlight onto there. This time some light highlight. I got some blue in there by accident. I didn't mean to do it, but I think it looks nice. Okay, now the wind wants to come in. Okay, just right here, glaze some of that onto that shadows. Just glaze it on. Okay, I like how that came out, and I'm satisfied with that. So I'm gonna just mist the bottom of the mountain or hill and just mist it out. Now, you gotta have like a desert, in my opinion. Let me just fix that real quick. There was a little blank spot, and might as well, all right here, make it seem like that mountain got far and diffuse little of it. But as I was saying, let's make it look like there's sand. So I'm gonna get some yellow, some red. That was too much red. Yellow. Let's mix up a green tone. Add a little bit of green. Some white. And just mix it up until you're completely satisfied with the outcome. I'm gonna tap some paint. Let's say we're coming from this direction. Ooh, that's to the reddish side. Since I put on too much red, this is what I got. . 'Cause Okay, just scrubbing it in. Now, when you think of a desert, you think of like cactus, you think of all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna put a cactus in this painting. Get some mountain mixture. Okay, let's come up here. Let's say it's right along here. Okay, we got that part done. And maybe it has its arm along there. Maybe that arm, maybe it has another arm. Okay, maybe, it needs a friend. It needs a friend. Trees, cactus, everything needs a friend. At least in my world. But you could paint your picture however you like. You don't have to copy exactly from me, which I know most of you probably won't. You guys will get creative. Now, I want something like this, some shadows, indication. But right before that, I want to add like bushes laying out. So just scrub it in like if we're scrubbing in um some uh no, I know how to explain it. Like if you're scrubbing in some foam from the ocean, just scrub it in just like that. And it'll get you just what you want. I don't want something too powerful. I just want little indication of a bush here and there. Okay, small little indications, and you could scratch in some sticks and twigs, just like so. And we gotta add a highlight. It's not a cactus without its proper highlight. So I'm gonna add a little bit of green and sort of just fade it softly, softly. And when you're adding your highlights, you're deciding where the sun's coming from. And starting from the mountains, you already started to put your highlights because your highlights are on this side. So you kind of have to put your highlights on that side. If not, it's gonna look weird. It's not gonna match up, and you're not gonna be satisfied. And I want you to be satisfied with your piece. So I'm telling you that right now. Okay? Okay. Let's I chose to add a couple bushes in the back so let's add a couple bushes right here in the front. Some just go crazy, let loose, just let loose. And you could just reflect that. Okay, now let me add some highlight to those bushes. It's a bit more detail since it's more in the front. Let me add a little bit of liquid white just to thin out that paint so it could stick on better. Okay, just lightly touching. And you could pull on some of the highlights that there's on here as a reflection. Oh, that's looking nice. Yeah, that's where I want it to go. You could add some highlight to the back ones if you like. If you really want to put in some detail, you could say. A little bit more sand here. And I'm going to darken it up a bit to make it seem like, oh yeah, to make it seem like there's another layer. And that's in the back. Something like so. But then at the same time, it's going to get a highlight right around here. Just a little highlight. And so in the back a bit. And I'm going to start signing off this painting because I think that's all there is to this painting. But I hope you enjoy this painting out. It's a nice little simple painting. Well, semi-simple, not too complicated. Uh, but try this painting out. You'll enjoy it if you do everything right. You'll have the success. Uh, what else can I say rather than have fun, enjoy painting. If you're in a good mood, the painting's gonna come out better. And I'll see you next time. Until then, God bless. Take care. Goodbye.